nobody can see that was handed over to us to do something amazing. Take the gifts, man. Take the gifts. Take the gifts, man. And let the Most High work in you to do something you have never believed.
I ain't even impressed. What you expect? You see this shit? Hold on. This one West on my chest.
One West world. That's it.
Fuck a street code, let a priest law. No stain, break dang with the leash off. I ain't nothing of this world, I need a respawn. I just know they wish that I would stop, but I keep going. These fringes on my calf like a tube sock. I used to stuff the loose ones in my shoebox. And we came a long way from the curbside. Now we looking from the top from a bird eye. And I can't leave my brother on the battlefield. Lord, let the hell rain, we gon' see who real. And you know they gon' hate when they see a plate. So imagine what they doing for $250,000. And we really the only ones going to war. You niggas just be talking like y'all won the war. I made love to this truth and there's no divorce. My Spanish mommy call me Poppy like a corner store. Let me show you how to do it. City living by the word, I think it's time he proved. I think you better use your head before you fucking lose it. And save the acting for the camera, this is not a movie. I pray to God I don't fall off. I ain't nothing like y'all. Niggas think they slime, cut their head off a python. Blame me for my outlook, never counted the lookouts. The world said I wasn't shit, but look at how I turned out. Not so bad, huh? Why you mad, huh? We go hard, but go harder for the have-not. Listen, when that oil hit your leg, then you can't stop. Your feet better hit the ground running, this shit bedrock. Man, we tried to put him on, but he sleep. Waking up the people, that's the job for a priest. Hopped out the wheel, fringes swinging like a pendulum. You heard of the tribes, where the fuck you think they get it from? Look, I'm a soldier, get the order, then I get it done. Got some big shit to split the water, make these niggas run. Why you hurt? If I told the truth, then I showed you love. Let me prove it, wanna move right, let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it. City living by the word, I think it's time he proved. I think you better use your head before you fucking lose it. And save the acting for the camera, this is not a movie.
Don't step over the line though. Everybody, anybody, it's up for everybody. And that's I got bigger fish to fry. I got people to say it. I ain't even on a rap, so I already beat the rap shit.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. Water. Ain't no better, dog, really. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear collar. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better. I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. This a one West world. We the fucking livest. Break it down, we break ground. We don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog. Don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much. They ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. The niggas riding for you. Hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yep, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon mouth.
Yo, you ready? Nah, I mean, is you ready? Somebody ready for war? Tawizi. TITHES up. Wise man mad. They ready for war. Getting all blacks is a trooper. Plan, plot, strategize, crucial. Gotta pick a side, no neutral. In the middle of a war as usual. Watch your back, they shoot. If your ops drop, better keep it moving. All we do is win, no losing. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. Plan, plot, strategize, crucial. In the middle of a war as usual.
Negros e índios nativos somos los verdaderos israelitas. ¿Esto dónde lo dice? Según esto dice en la Biblia.
Show that Puerto Ricans love America, but that ain't reality. Police attack was planned beforehand. Only white cops were assigned.
Then our only recourse is to defend ourselves.
We tried to move people onto the sidewalk, but the police were all out for blood.
Another series of protests was staged by thousands of students, parents, and the Brown Berets. In June 1968, the group that had become known as the East LA 13 was released on bail.
Demonstrate to our people and we deserve better and that we could, get better.
I don't think there's ever been a time when we need more of the spirit of the young lords than today.
I guess we had no fear. We just did what we thought at the time was the right thing to do.
National captain of the Black Panther Party. They are making it their business to process arresting me and my wife, to process arresting numerous Panthers on the block.
Police just went in and started beating them viciously. It was ugly. They were just yelling at us, you dirty spicks, dirty Mexicans, who do you think you are?
Hey, Shalom, y'all, Bashim Shabrakatam. To the brothers, y'all, Shamatam, Bashim Shah, to the sisters, what's going on, out of one? You on mute.
Shalom, priest, y'all, what's going on, man?
Yeah, everything to Wab. This is another episode of One West Ground Zero. You understand? Myself, Officer 1000 Adiyar, myself, Priest Officer 500 Barak Yala. It's a lock for the bad lighting today. All right. We have a few topics for y'all. Anyone who wants to come on, interact with us, ask questions, or whatever the case is, give us your insight. Y'all can just click on the StreamYard link in the chat. We'll bring you up. Till then, we'll just rock it out. Right. We have a few good topics today. Let me start with this. First and foremost, right? The white man is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
It's like we need to remind y'all every goddamn time. But give me 1 second. Got a few clips for y'all today. The white man is such a devil and such a disgusting bastard, right? I just stumbled on this clip, out of one, which is insane. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. These devils have a boot camp for pedophiles. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up. You see this? This is MAP. They have a boot camp for pedophiles. For people who don't know what MAP stands for, it talks about minor attracted people. They even rebranding the term pedophiles. Good night.
For pedophiles in Vermont is incredibly disturbing. So this is the MAP camp, or Minor Attracted Persons Camp, which is the name that pedophiles are trying to use to escape the stigma. So last year, somebody in Vermont discovered this event page online, and what they found was absolutely disturbing. Apparently, this camp for pedophiles was held September 19th through September 22nd of 2024, and they wouldn't reveal where they were camping. But this was a huge group of pedophiles camping alone in the woods, and some people said that this was happening in near proximity to a school. So on their website, they listed potential risks. They're talking about normal camping risks here, but then they said exposure to pedophiles and other weirdos. And also common risks with hiking and other outdoor activities. This is from their actual website. Blisters, getting lost, insect bites and stings, heat exhaustion, falling, tripping because you were distracted by a sexy minor instead of watching where you were going. No sexy children around to look at, a common problem when hiking. So obviously nobody would want this event near their hometown, especially near a school. And this turned into an entire storm in this small town in Vermont. They held community meetings with leaders from their town. Campgrounds denied that they allowed these people to camp out there. But according to this group, or from what we could find online, it did happen. And it might happen again next year. And this just goes to show that the normalization of this stuff is never okay. In my opinion, pedophiles deserve the stigma, especially the ones that actually harm kids. If this camp for pedophiles...
Good fucking night.
That's some crazy shit, man. God damn.
You can't make this up. You know? Damn. Like, even... listen, I'm at a loss of words. Our oppressor is such a disgusting, vile bastard. Whatever way you try to explain this, it's insane. Salakia. How you have a whole camp for pedophiles? Specifically for pedophiles. That's apparently near a school. And they're trying to rebrand the whole term pedophiles to minor attracted persons. It's like saying, well, this is a part of the LGBT that they don't want to show, because the LGBT say what? They're not, they rebranded it as an alternative lifestyle, or being flamboyant, or being, what they say, some stupid shit like being gender neutral or gender fluid, whatever nonsense they say. They label themselves as minor attracted persons, and they go out here camping. Good night. It's a lockout one.
Yeah, con. And this goes like you just say, like this goes into the LGBTQ, because when you see what they're pushing in the LGBTQ is like, they're pushing that towards the children. But who's gonna have sex with the children? Who's really, attracted to these children? And you're gonna see is those same people, man. They all pedophiles, man. LGBTQ equal pedophilia, man.
Khan. That's insane. Like, how you mounted a 3-day event. I don't know what to say about that. Listen, they have a 3-day event, just like we brought out yesterday, right? In Hebrews 12:16, there is no other fornicator like Esau. This just shows you that you should never fall after these oppressors. These are the same people you want to emulate. That's the crazy part. These people, you want to be like them. That's why you're having Diddy freak-offs. That's I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy's on Epstein's list, to be honest. But that's irrelevant at this point. But these are the same people we're told to love, because God loves everybody. They're the same people we're told to, forgive and forget. You understand? This is their nature. And that's what our people need to grasp. These people are vile and disgusting, and this is their nature. There is no saving white people from themselves. It's a lot to say.
Gone. And just like you said, it's the nature. Like, people might come against us for saying that that's the nature, but when you look at in the history, the history of the Greeks, the history of the Romans, the history of a Caucasian is exactly pedophilia. You understand? Pedophilia, incest, rape. You understand? All these sexual deviances, man. That's their culture, man. That's who they are. You understand? Don't get mad at don't get mad at us for saying it, because you understand it's part of the you understand the character. You understand? That's who they are. They can't change, but be exactly who they, you understand, they're supposed to be. So like,
nah, Kawakan, exactly. But we're gonna go to the next clip because that was insane. Let me go to the next clip. Just to show you the nature of our oppressor, which is not only a vile, disgusting bastard, but they are goddamn liars, and they're the true people who have a victim mentality. And really, they're idiots. Watch this.
Born and raised. They want the land back? How? Sorry, but that's just, I mean, really? It's not even their land. If they wanted their land, then they should have done something 100 years ago. And who's to say that the land originally even belonged to them? For all we know, there were people before them there who they took the land from. So
Listen, you can't make this up. Again, our oppressor is a vagabond, right? Not to show any sympathy to the Hamites, but just to show the nature of our oppressor. This is, like you said, a lingering German colonial history in Namibia. They say, listen, what do you mean they want the land back? It's not their land. Our oppressor is a true thief, right? In the sense where, yo, we took the land that belongs to us. Imagine the mind of a thief, right? What does a thief do? The thief steals and appropriates something that is not theirs and claim it as theirs. And that's our oppressor. Salaki, Adawan.
yeah, come. What's wrong with Esau, man? Like, god damn. Esau is a beast for real, man. Like, god damn. Like, imagine, you know what I'm saying, like, being invaded, you know what I'm saying? You have your house taken, you know what I'm saying? And afterward, the person, like, well, it wasn't really his house. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was living there before. You understand? Esau is the damn devil, man, the Bible speak of. And this is why we call the oppressor the devil, man. Because devil means a deceiver. You know what I'm saying? Everything in their mouth is to deceive you, you understand? You think, you know what I'm saying, they're speaking a good game, trying to, you know what I'm saying, they have your best interests at heart. Meanwhile, you know what I'm saying, they want to overtake you. They want to destroy you every way possible, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you be in Africa and Africans, you know what I'm saying? You saying that African, that's not their land? So who was there before Esau? Like, yo, man. Esau is a damn beast.
So you're trying to tell me there were people in Africa before Africans?
Damn.
Salakia. Listen, see, this is the problem, you know, and this is the same people we're told to love. Can you go tell the Namibians to love the Germans over there claiming the land as theirs? I didn't know. Does she look like an indigenous Namibian?
So Salakia, please. This is why white people say, well, the alien made the pyramid. They don't want to give credit to the Hamites. The alien made them. You understand? So it's the same lie. You know what I'm saying? Same Esau's lie, man. Esau is just here on earth to lie and lie and lie. And this goes, you know, to all so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. Don't be a liar like Esau, man. This is their culture. This is who they are. You are something right, somebody righteous. You know, somebody strong, somebody that doesn't have to lie. Know you're wrong and know when you're right. You understand? But these beasts, man, don't know when they're wrong, man. And even if they will know they're wrong, they will still lie. You understand? Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? These things, these people, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want to call them people, man. These things are something that don't need to be living on earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, this is why the earth is the way it is today, because you have these people, you know what I'm saying, ruling over the world and, you know what I'm saying, creating a bunch of lies, you know what I'm saying, and confusing the whole world, man. You know what I'm saying? It's insane.
You know, the craziest part is that she had the audacity to say, well, if it was their land, they should have done something 100 years ago. That's crazy, because it's like saying, well, now we have Canada. Now we have the US. If they really wanted the land back, they could have done something 100 years ago. They did. They tried. You understand? You stop us from getting our land back. Listen, even the way Mexico is today. Yes, Mexico, Texas was sold, California, Texas was annexed, California was sold to the U.S., but not willingly. So as far as getting the land back, you should have done something 100 years ago. But you need to look at the whole history. You need to tell the whole truth. Like, you are a goddamn, genocidal maniac. Salaki.
Right.
You understand? It's not even to show sympathy to the Namibians, disgusting Hamites, but just to show you the mentality of our oppressor. If it was yours, it's like saying, listen, if it was yours, you should have took it back. You didn't let us take it back. It's not like you just say, yeah, here, I'll give you the land back. And even then, when it comes to conquering the land, it's not because you were stronger. Like the way our Gada brothers and sisters lost the land, it's not because white people were stronger than Native American Indians. They used chemical warfare. They poisoned them with smallpox and things. Yeah, that's what they did. They poisoned the waterways. They killed off the buffalo. They didn't just go up here and start killing people. That's not what they did. They removed their food resources. They poisoned the waterways. They poisoned the people with blankets. You understand? And that's the history of our oppressor. The same way, listen, our oppressor is not only, Commander YAHANNA said it himself, he's a sore winner, because they still find ways to complain, even though they got the whole planet to themselves. But he is also a horrible loser. They lost the war in Vietnam and started dropping napalm on the Asians. It's never enough. They need to have every goddamn thing. They need to have every single bit of grass that's growing out of the ground, even if it's the bad one. They can't leave nothing for nobody. And if they steal something, they're going to say, well, you know what? You should have done something about it. You should have took it back. You should have voiced yourself saying, yeah, this is my land. Which is what people do on the whole face of the earth. Listen, it's like saying the Palestinians should have done something about it. Now they want to complain about the Jewish people. The Palestinians, for argument's sake, of course, because neither of them are indigenous to the land, welcome Amalek with open arms. And what did they do? They started expanding their fake state of Israel. They started expanding. That's what they did. They started displacing Palestinians. Now that they complain, they're saying basically it's too late to complain. We've been here. And that's our oppressor, Salakia.
Come on, it's manifest destiny. You know what I'm saying? Salakia.
Good night. Manifest destiny. God, man, let's go to the next clip. These are like two clips going together just to show the nature of our oppressor. Shit, that's damn near what I should have shown. I should have named it the episode today, the nature of our oppressor. And this is something that people don't know about. 1 second. This is something that is not really widely known, right, to the masses. The Black history in Canada, right?
Whatever happened to Amber Valley?
I'm gonna go Alberta.
Amber Valley in Alberta was built by the collision of two events: African Americans facing extreme hostility in states like Oklahoma, and the Canadian government's call for people to settle in the prairies. To escape the South and build new lives, around 1,000 men, women, and children made their way into Canada in the early 20th century, with around 300 moving to Amber Valley. Despite segregation and many challenges in the prairies, these settlers built a community of farmers, baseball lovers, and business owners, trading southern heat for Canadian cold to create a free and successful Black town. So where did it go? Unfortunately, Canada preferred certain kinds of immigrants over others, and fearing that Black people would take over the country, shut down African American migration after this initial wave. Without more settlers coming in and young people leaving for larger cities, the community slowly faded away. And so much has now been lost to history. You guys also told me about Little Burgundy and many other historic Black communities. Which one do you want to hear about next?
Yeah, this is what people don't understand in Canada. Listen, Canada is as racist as the U.S. I don't think people grasp that yet, right? Just like, you know, they didn't stop in New York or Chicago when they fled the South. They went all the way up north to Canada, to the prairies, Calgary, you know. They came up to Montreal and Toronto, right? But understand this. Caucasian Canadians hate black people as much as Caucasian Americans. I don't see, listen, the devil is a devil anywhere he is. Just like the devil consider you as slaves at wherever you would be, he is a devil wherever he is, whether it's in France, the UK, Canada, the US, it's the same. The only difference is what? Probably gun laws and free healthcare. The devil is racist nonetheless, and he hates your guts. Salakia.
Come. We have a proverb in Haiti, priest. It's like, you know what I'm saying, like let me translate it, you know what I'm saying, in English, like when a rat bites you, you know what I'm saying, it like blows wind, you know what I'm saying, in the wound like this, you don't feel the pain. That's what can racism in Canada is like. You know what I'm saying? They'll be racist, but they'll blow on that wound, you know what I'm saying, like this, you don't feel the racism, you don't feel the pain, you don't feel exactly, you know what I'm saying, that they are, you know what I'm saying, as racist as the state, you know what I'm saying, and this is where the history of Canada or racism in Canada. You think that Canadian are just like, oh, they're open-minded, they want everybody in. No, it's not true, man. You know what I'm saying? They are as racist, but they will, you understand, bite and blow on that wound like this, you understand? You don't feel the pain or you don't feel the racism. They will give you, you know what I'm saying, like they will tell you that everybody's welcome, open your doors, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. Like this, you don't feel the, you know what I'm saying, the racism. They'll call you brother, you know what I'm saying? They'll even, you know what I'm saying, like invite you to their events or come to your barbecue. Meanwhile, in your back, and you know what I'm saying, they're plotting in your back, you know what I'm saying, talking to, you know what I'm saying, to your manager, trying to have you, you know what I'm saying, suspended, losing your work, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, calling the cops, you know what I'm saying, on secret on you, you know what I'm saying. That's how, you know what I'm saying, racism in Canada is, man. You know what I'm saying? But don't get it twisted, man. You know what I'm saying? If you think, you know what I'm saying, we're living in something that's different from the state, it is not true, man. It is just like you say, priest, as racist as the state, man.
Hey, that's crazy, because I did a history class about that, about the history of slavery in Canada. If you think slaves were just running away from the U.S. Up to Canada, slaves are running from Canada into the U.S., which means what? And if you think slavery was worse in the U.S., therefore they were going to Canada to not have it as bad, imagine having to run away from Canada into the U.S., where slavery is supposed to be worse. It is just as bad. Good night. We have in Montreal the McGill University, which was founded by James McGill. The McGill University in Canada is the Harvard of Canada. Well, James McGill was a proud slave owner, and he fought to keep slavery intact in Canada, as a matter of fact.
Right.
That's what they don't teach, though. They don't teach none of that. He had slaves, and when they had talks of abolishing slavery, you had three sides, which really is just two. You had the side that wanted slavery abolished in Canada. You had the side that wanted to keep the status quo, meaning keep things as is, because they don't see a reason for why to change it. But then again, they're not opposed to changing it, but let's keep it as is, meaning let's keep slavery. That's basically what they're saying. That's what keeping the status quo was at the time. And you had the one who fought to keep their slaves and to keep slavery intact in Canada. James McGill was one of them. You know, but they don't teach that in Canada. That's a great. Listen, Canada has the same history as the U.S. France has the same history. The Americas were colonized by one race of people, and it was bad all around. Well, because we don't have alligators, so we didn't have gator babies. Is that what it is? People were still getting lynched over here. What? Probably, Joe. What's the difference? We had the most. Canada just had the most Native American slaves. That's it. That's the only difference. You know, in the U.S. they drink gunpowder. In Canada they drink maple syrup. That's the biggest difference. Besides that, there is no difference. Canada's as racist as the U.S. There's a lot of black towns. Even when he mentioned Little Burgundy in Montreal, we call it Bergs, right? That's what, probably half an hour away from me, barely. It used to be one of the most prominent black neighborhoods. Uptown used to be one of the prominent black neighborhoods where all the Benjamites go over there. when my mom moved to Montreal when she was younger, Uptown, which is really Côte de Neige, meaning hill of snow, they, because of the influx of Caribbean people, they call it Côte de Nègre, which translates to hill of niggas. That's what Uptown used to be called back in the days, the hill of niggas, because there were so many black people over there. Now, you know, they're tired of all the black people, just like they were tired back then in Alberta. They said, what? We're going to take over Canada? Uptown now is Southeast Asia. If you go to Uptown right now, it's a bunch of Filipinos, Laotians, East Indians, really Pakistanis and Sri Lankans. You barely have any Caribbean people over there. You have the Mahatma Gandhi Park. You know, they renamed Kent Park Martin Luther King Park, but even then, I don't see why. Because black people are barely in Uptown no more. Salakia.
Go on. They're gentrifying everything. You know what I'm saying? Even Montreal North, where I'm at right now, they call it Montreal Noir. You understand? Montreal Noir. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, you see a lot of, you know what I'm saying, Arab, a lot of white people, you know what I'm saying, and still be called like Montreal Noir. You know what I'm saying? But the oppressor is a damn devil, man. You know what I'm saying? And I believe also, like, I know you're over the history class, but I believe in the north part of Canada, they had black town also that they flooded, just like, you know what I'm saying, the States, if I'm correct.
Damn right. They have black towns they destroyed. Because on the claim that, well, like he said, right, they prefer a certain type of immigrants over others. Listen, they just hate black people. Like this, you know, they'll sugarcoat everything. Really, they hate you. Because they want to complain about, you see the same way they complain about Mexicans being criminals and sexual abuse or whatever. They do the same thing over here with Benjamites and Levi, right? Not considering the fact that, what about the Hells Angels? The Hells Angels are criminals. The Hells Angels sell all the drugs. They damn near have. So in Montreal, right, the monopoly on crime is the Jewish, the Italians, and the Hells Angels, the bikers. None of these are black or brown organizations.
Right.
They're all Caucasians. But yet, they're pointing the finger at you saying, well, you guys are the criminals. What about the mafia? They're arresting all the godfathers right now. They're arresting all the mafia for the past 2 weeks. You know? They want to talk about the blood mafia family. The blood mafia family is run by a white man. Just got arrested. Yet the finger is always pointing out, well, the Haitians are criminals. They do all the shootings. You know, they sell all the drugs. The drugs come through the port. Who controls the port? The Italians.
Right.
But nobody is saying, well, it's the Italians' fault. The Italians are, I wouldn't say first. I would say second after the Jewish. The Jewish just go under the radar because they're religious or whatever the case is. You go to Westmount, all these $1 million houses, right? Good night. I did a moving job one time. Listen, you would not believe these houses over there. Some people have $10,000 TV stands. The TV comes up from the goddamn thing. I was like, damn, and it's like nothing for them. But we're labeled the criminals. They have the monopoly on crime in the city, and we're labeled the criminals. Really, they hate your guts. That's it. You being a criminal is propaganda. The moment you're a criminal is because it's the moment you follow after them. You try to be like them. Like even all the Jamaican artists talking about Don Corleone and things like that. Listen, why you call yourself after an Italian man? You understand? Don Pablo, Don this and Don that. You just want to be white. Now you want to be white. Do you think they're not going to find the opportunity to not shed the light on themselves and just point the light at you? You're following their footsteps. Yet the limelight is on you when it comes to who's the criminal. You know, they don't prefer other immigrants. They just don't. That's their way of saying they just don't want you here. That's it. It's a lucky.
And also the brother, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if he's a brother in the video, but he said something powerful, you know what I'm saying? He said that They didn't want to have too many black because they didn't want black to take over the country, you know what I'm saying, take over the nation, which really means that they know that we are better than them. We will excel. If the oppressor leave us alone, you understand, and don't push drug in our neighborhood, don't, you know what I'm saying, put sexual molestation and sexual deviances in, you know what I'm saying, push that on our people, they know that we're going to overtake them, we're going to overpass them. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, you know what I'm saying, this is why you should put in your mind why they have drugs in your neighborhood. Because if you don't have drug in your neighborhood, you will overpass white people. If you don't have like sexual deviances in your neighborhood, you will overpass white people. You understand? If you don't have like the crimes, you understand, being pushed, you understand, in the music, in the movies, in the video games, you will overpass white people, man. That's something that they know. You know what I'm saying? And we have proof of that. This is what I'm saying. We have proof of that. This is why, you know what I'm saying, like today, Haiti is in the state that it is right now. Because they know if they leave Haiti alone and let the people be there, you know what I'm saying, like govern themselves, we'll overpass anything, man. You know what I'm saying? This is why they're still in our communities doing, you know what I'm saying, pushing evil on our brothers, you understand? And our brother being, you know what I'm saying, like coming from slavery, not having an identity, not having their culture. They can't see that. You know what I'm saying? They can't see that, you know what I'm saying? It is all a trap. It is all, you know what I'm saying, warfare. You know what I'm saying? But once you come into school, you open your eyes, you're on the community general YAHANNA, you realize, you understand, what the devil realized. And it's, if they leave us alone, you understand, we will overpass them in everything. Not just in sport, not just, you know what I'm saying, in physical activities, in everything, man. You understand? It's a lot.
No, I mean, that's absolutely right. Before I play this clip, and, you know, again, the key thing that he said is that they're feared that black people would take over. You know who said that as well? Peyton Gendron, the Buffalo shooter. It's called the Great Replacement Theory. And don't think it's an American mindset. You know, the Great Replacement Theory was started by a Frenchman in France. He feared that France is going to be taken over by mainly Africans and Arabs. They have to do something. That same theory was applied during the Buffalo shooting. He feared for the white race. Therefore, he Peyton Gendron scoped out a whole black neighborhood for what, 2 months? This man went on a Call of Duty mission. He did some recon for like 2-3 months. He found a black neighborhood that he had no business being in. He found a grocery store. He started making it rain in there. You understand? But that same theory always applied. Ever since slavery. Why do you think they had to do such atrocities to us as far as buck breaking, right? You know, public executions. It was not just for fun. They make an example out of you. Why? Because they've been outnumbered. Listen, the Bible says it. What is it? Obadiah 1:3. You know, he's small among the heathen. He's small and he's greatly despised. White people are a minority. That's why they had, listen, the amount of atrocities they did to us during slavery. Yes, it's their nature to be so, you know, monstrous, but that was a fear tactic so that you never have even the slightest idea to rebel against them, because this is what's going to happen to you. Your husband is going to be sexually assaulted in front of the whole family. Your babies are going to be ripped out of your belly and dashed across tree stumps and rocks, probably fed to alligators. You know, we're going to bury you up to your neck in the ground, pour honey on you, and let the ants and the wasps eat you alive. Then they used to chop us. Good night, Christopher Columbus practiced. They had a game. The Spaniards had a game to see which sword is the sharpest. Swing the sword on the Taino Indians, and if it's a clean cut, I guess you win the game. If it's not a clean cut, well, shit, you just keep going. You understand?
So Salaka priest, I would just want to add one of the atrocities. Sometimes, like, you know what I'm saying, like in Haiti, you know what I'm saying, they would boil the sugarcane syrup and, you know what I'm saying, pour it on the slave. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Imagine having hot syrup, you know what I'm saying, boiling syrup, you know what I'm saying, like on your skin, you know what I'm saying, hearing that skin sizzling, that the yell, the cry of that person, man. That's why, you know what I'm saying, these oppressors did, you understand, like there can be nobody that's comparable to what Esau did, you know what I'm saying, like to what these Caucasian did to so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native men. You know what I'm saying? They're really a real cruel race, you know what I'm saying, the most diabolical race of people on the face of the earth, man.
Damn right. I covered that one time on the French atrocities that they did in the French West Indies specifically, right? I mean the French colonies, which would include Haiti. Because I don't know, like you said, if you imagine like when you cook and the oil splashes on you, you know it hurts. Have you ever cooked something as far as melting sugar? Yo, this will peel your skin off. Imagine getting hot sugar cane poured on you. You understand? They used to do such a listen. You think today, even the self-mutilation of our people today, you think is bad. During slavery, they used to cut off your, reproductive organs. They cut off the breast off of our sisters. Imagine that. They cut the whole breast away from our sisters. And there was no anesthetic. Even if there was, they didn't give a damn. You don't feel the pain. This the same way they say animals don't feel the pain. Well, you were less than an animal. So trust me, you didn't feel the pain in their mind. They literally blew us up. They filled our cavities with cannon powder in the French colonies and lit us up. They named it. They call it blow up the nigga's ass. No diddy. Literally. They filled you up with cannon powder and lit you up. And this is the same people we have to love. Listen, Palestinians are saying they can't love the Israelis. They're getting bombs dropped on them. We had worse than bombs. At least, you died quick. Damn. Trust me, during slavery, we wish we had bombs dropped on us. At least. Listen, make it quick. They made us the bomb. Literally. But this is not a history club. We're going to go over here. I'm going to bring these back. These atrocities that did on us. Like that. If you say you can understand why the Palestinians cannot forgive the Israelis, why the so-called Jewish men cannot forgive the Nazis because they were put in ovens. We were put in ovens too. Yet we're told to forgive the white man. We're told in boiling cauldrons. Yet we're told to forgive the white man. If we can forgive him, surely they can forgive their aggressor as well. Because we had it worse than anyone else on the goddamn face of the earth. Like I play this other clip because people think it's only Africville, which is Nova Scotia, right? That they erased. But Canada has as much as a hateful past as the US. As a hateful present as well, as a matter of fact. Salakia.
So it wasn't just Africville?
I think British Columbia too.
Why British Columbia? Hogan's Alley in Vancouver was home to the city's largest black community, built by the descendants of African Americans who'd come to Canada to escape hostilities in California and Albertans who moved to Vancouver seeking prosperity. In the first half of the 20th century, the area was a thriving black cultural hub, hosting speakeasies, jazz legends, and even Jimi Hendrix's grandmother, Nora Hendrix, one of the founders of the Fountain Chapel Church. With so much culture to offer the city of Vancouver, you would have to hold on to this neighborhood with everything that you could, right? Well, just like in Africville, the neighborhood was considered a slum by the city in need of urban renewal. This really meant wanting to build a viaduct through Hogan's Alley, and in the late 60s, the neighborhood was demolished, making way for the Georgia Viaduct. Displaced residents spread around Vancouver, and it wasn't until 2015 that the city announced plans to remove the bridge as a process of reconciliation. People also told me about Amber Valley in Alberta. Would you like to hear their story?
Again, listen, that's the same thing as Seneca Village. All these black towns in the US that are removed just because they really hate niggas. There's no other reason. The same thing happened in Canada. If you think, because that's one thing I really hate about so-called foundational black Americans saying, well, we went through this and we're the only ones who went through that. Listen, we have the same exact history as our Judite brothers and sisters. The same exact history. The same way they removed black towns and black cities, just like in Central Park, they did the same thing in Canada. Why? Because they hate black people. There's no other reason why. It's not a quantum physics equation. It's not rocket science. The Bible says you be sold unto your enemies. Ezekiel 35:5 said they had a perpetual hatred, a hatred that they always had, they will always have, and it's not going away. So why do you think it's different up here? They're the same devils. The Canadian devils and the US are the same people. They're not two different matter of white people. They're both descendant of the British, the Irish, the French. You know, and if you go to Brazil, the same, the Portuguese, the Spaniards. What makes them different? We have free healthcare. That's it. You know? And shit, maple syrup. Besides that, what's different? It's a lot. I think Officer IDR froze.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. It's Salakia, you know. What's different with these white people? I'm trying to understand because I'm confused at this point. Right? The point is, just like a slave is a slave anywhere he goes, a devil is a devil wherever you are, wherever he is. You understand? Like, let me bring up the next clip. Again, this episode should have just been the nature of our oppressor. Good night.
I believe there's going to be more than 60.
One of the most important factors that came into play was obviously the permanent markers here in the background to bring honor to the unmarked graves that seems like it was purposely supposed to be forgotten, and to continue scans and work with the GPR team in the process of finding our people and bringing them the honor and bringing them back home. We were going to discover the undiscovered and to validate our history as First Nations people. Every time I roll into the mission grounds here, like I always say, good morning, my babies, especially when I'm passing the graveyard. It's so important to acknowledge our land, and especially for the unmarked graves, like especially the children and the people that were forgotten. When the second scan took place, there was actually an owl on the grounds here that kept visiting us. And also the white owl feather represents protection. So I thought that was so beautiful. The handprint also represents the missing Indigenous men and women all across Canada, but also it represents a child's hand and making sure that the children who had no voice were heard along the way. And of course, our eagle, they're always here. We see them every time we're on the grounds, and it just goes to show that we still have life, right? We're still being watched over in some sense.
I'm third generation survivor. My kukum attended here, and my mother was an orphan and stayed here all years. And I attended in 1958 to 1960. Then I attended the day school in 1962 to 67 here on the grounds. My mom's dying wish was for us to find the baby sisters. The baby sisters are up there. I have one brother who's 60 school who's in the United States. My mom passed away in 1999. She was 92. And she said, find your brothers and also have a closure for the baby sisters in the cemetery in Beauval. One sister was 6 months, 1926. The other one was 8 months, 1929. My mom went through a lot more than what I did, I believe, but she never talked about it. We will see when we're up the hill and they lay the markings. It's finally come to this. Finally is what I said. I pray every morning and at night. I said, finally, baby sisters. They're doing beautiful work.
Salakia, listen. This. Do you understand why our people? Do you understand why Mexicans are mad in Cali? Do you understand why our Gada brothers and sisters are pissed off every single day? Like listen, there's a devil that said this is a lie. They don't find graves in Canada. There's 60 more unmarked graves as of today. 60 more. The whole Americas and the Caribbeans is a graveyard. You understand? This is the thing. Residential schools operated until 1997. One of them in Ontario had an electrical chair where they put Gadites, on the chair and electrocute them just for things as small as peeing their bed. You understand? This is what we say. Our oppressor is a vile monster. This is the nature of your oppressor. He doesn't give a damn. You could hear the pain in these sisters' voice. You could hear the pain. It's like, damn. And she said, well, we still have life. We still matter. Guess what? To the white man, we never mattered, and we still don't. The black code in France is still in effect. The black code that said that you Benjamites mean nothing. You're less than human is still in effect. It hasn't been abrogated officially. There's talks about it, but that's it. And it's you would see the condition of our people. These are the number one people that disappear every day. Missing and murdered indigenous people, whether it's men, women, little boys, little girls, every single day. And I did a history class about that, right? It's like, they had a whole system to make sure you're oppressed in all ways possible. They made it mandatory for the kids to attend residential schools. If not, they would come and snatch them up. And you can come back to get your kids. Why? Because now they made it so that you cannot leave the res without a pass. Like a hall pass in high school to go to the restroom, you needed a res pass to leave the res. So now you need the res pass to leave the res. If you don't have it, you have to pray that your kids are safe, which we know they were not safe in an establishment where they have an electrical chair for the kids. Safe where they get molested damn near every day by the Catholic Church. Even when she said her mother probably went through worse than she did, but she never talked about it. This is why, because she can't. This is a hard thing to talk about. Listen, on how these people are being abused on a daily basis. I have to bring this precept up, right? What is it? Deuteronomy. What did it say again? Deuteronomy 28, where it says we will bear children, but they'll be taken away from us. You cannot say that we are not the real biblical Jews of antiquity. This is the only people who it happens to that lost their identity, that have been taken over by their enemy, and then our children are being taken away from us till this day. You understand? Till this day. And there's nothing we could do about it. There's nothing that any Gadites could have done about that. You understand? Salakia.
Salakia, priest, if I may also, it is something really diabolical from the Christian church to say, you understand, well, you know what, we should forgive the oppressor. Meanwhile, just like you said earlier, you understand, that they're not going to say to forget to the Palestinian to forgive the Jewish man. You understand? They're not going to tell these other nations to forgive their oppressor. But it's something evil, you understand, to tell us to forgive our oppressor. Meanwhile, the oppressor never asked for forgiveness. The oppressor is still doing what he did to us. So, you know what I'm saying? It is something really evil from the Christian church to say, well, you know what, natives should, you know what I'm saying, should forgive and forget. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, they live on the land, on their own land, in captivity on their own land without, you know what I'm saying, like proper food, proper, you know what I'm saying, drinking water, and still being killed, you know what I'm saying? It's evil, man. So like.
Okay. Now, Salaki, we're going to bring that up real quick. Deuteronomy 28:32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. That's exactly what happened during the residential schools, during the 60s school, right? And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. There was nothing that could be done. They made it, listen, I forgot which devil did that, but he made a law where The RCMP, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the equivalent of the FBI, it's legal for them to come and snatch your kids up and bring them to the reservation. That's what they did back in the days. They made it legal to get little indigenous kids snatched up from the reservation and bring to residential schools. And even then, just like you said, Otto, right? Why are we forgiving our oppressors? They never asked for forgiveness. They didn't be forgiven. Like, why would you forgive them? They didn't ask for that. They don't give a damn. They took the land. Now they claim it as theirs. They couldn't care less whether you forgive them or not. It's not like, you know what? Thank you for forgiving me. Now I can give you the land back. Thank you for forgiving me. I could give you reparations. I could fix Haiti. You know, I could clean up the mess I made in Martinique and Guadeloupe by poisoning people for what, 2 decades. They don't care. They never did. They never will. They don't want your forgiveness. They want you gone. That's it. They want you eradicated. And that's why they're mad, because just like the Egyptians were mad when, regardless of how much hard work they give us, we will not die off. Imagine that. They committed a whole genocide on 3 continents in an archipelago, and we still can't die off. They're trying to replace us with indentured servants. We still manage to thrive. They put crack cocaine in our neighborhoods, heroin. You know, they poisoned the waterways of the reservation. They destroyed Haiti. The Haitians still can't die off. And that's why they're mad. They're mad because you're like a vermin. They see you as a vermin. They see you like a roach. They think the roach problem is over until they turn on the lights and they see, well, the roaches are still there. And they're so mad at because you're the roach that will not die off. That's why they're mad. Salaki, other one.
What you said is really true. You know what I'm saying? It's really true, man. You understand? And once again, like, you understand, we need to start understanding who we are and who the oppressor is, especially in these last days. You understand? Like, get to know that, you know what I'm saying, you are the 12th tribe of Israel. And this is why, you know what I'm saying, like what we're doing in I.S.U.P.K Montreal is as so much of an importance, you understand, because we live in a land that's been lying to us, that's been lying to our brothers, to our sisters, that's been dividing us, you know what I'm saying, as a people. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, we are the same people, man. We are the 12 lost tribe of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a coincidence you see all these things happening to one of another, you know what I'm saying, one another. You know what I'm saying? It's not a coincidence, but just like you put in, you know what I'm saying, the scripture, you put the scripture, you know what I'm saying, these things happen to us and us only, man. You understand? Like, these are the nation, they could fight for their own people. They could fight for the sons. They could fight for their daughters, their sisters. But you know what I'm saying? We don't have no power to do so. Why? Because we divided, because we don't have the knowledge of self, because we rather, you know what I'm saying, like, forgive the white man for crimes that he himself didn't ask for forgiveness for, man. You know what I'm saying? The best thing we should do as so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian is to gather under Commanding General YAHANNA in the I.S.U.P.K, you know what I'm saying, and to raise up this nation, man. You understand? Because Christ is coming back soon. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best solution that you could have in your life, man. It's a life.
Kawakan, damn right. And listen, again, regardless of what's happening right now, you can't change the nature of our oppressor. The next clip is going to show you that. Shit, let me just play the next clip. Salaki.
Man. Excuse me, officer. This is her daughter.
So like, this kid pisses me off so bad. I don't understand.
You
know, this is a tourist. Listen, if you listen, you're not safe because you're black, Latino, or native. That's it. They hate you because you're black, Latino, or native. You don't have to be legal. You don't have to be illegal. The moment you're conceived in your mother's womb, they want you dead. That's why they had the whole Planned Parenthood thing. That's why they push abortion in our communities. They want you exterminated. That woman is a tourist from Chile. You understand? Clearly, she knows she's not a U.S. citizen, but that's irrelevant. They only arrested her for being from Chile. That's it. They're trying to. How are you going to deport a tourist? She's on vacation. Imagine that. You can't even take a vacation to the U.S. no more. If you're Latino, this is not a destination for you to come on vacation. Clearly, they're going to get arrested and get deported. It's a good fucking night. You really can't make this up. If you think racism doesn't exist no more, this should be proof right here for you. It's as clear as water, clear as the waters from the mountains. You understand? Racism is alive and well. It is not going nowhere. Salakia.
And just to bring it back to the Obadiah, when you mentioned earlier, like when they're small among the nation, and this is why like in the part of the verse, the same verse, it says you will be greatly despised. And this, you got to understand the Bible. Why would the Bible say that the oppressor will greatly be despised? Well, you can't even go on vacation in the oppressor land, man. The oppressor is such a racist bastard. You can't even go on vacation, and be safe on vacation. Meanwhile, he's everywhere. He's everywhere in everybody's land. You understand? Trying to make rules, being on vacation and everything. He's on everybody's land, thinking that he's the main character in that land, man. You know what I'm saying? But you can't even enjoy, Imagine being from Peru up. Like, what's the minimum wage over there?
Good night.
You understand? Like, imagine, how hard she must have worked, saved up to just see New York City, just see the Big Apple, man. Just, like, I wanna experience that, that view, the view of New York City, the view of having a city that never sleeps. Imagine how much she must work, and to not only that, to buy, make provision for a family, make provision for a daughter, for for the rest of the family and whatnot, so she could, experience this lifestyle in New York City. And the oppressor, such a damn demon, can't even let her be on vacation in peace, man. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor, the damn devil the Bible speak of, man.
Damn right. Hey, Salakia, I had to look it up. The minimum wage in Chile, which is where she's from, is 529,000 Chilean pesos per month, which is the equivalent of $560 per month.
God night, man. You understand? So imagine she spent how long she has been, like spending, not spending, but saving for her to, for her to bring a child, to come see the New York City, give her, some good memories in her life, man. Imagine that. Now she can't even, she's gonna go back traumatized. That child's gonna be traumatized. And this is why Obadiah wanted two water for putting it on the screen.
Okay.
But this is why I say thou art greatly despised, man. You understand? The oppressor will be despised by everybody. You understand? Like they will be despised by every race of people, because people are realizing to see, who the devil is, man. They're coming up to see, the nature of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? Like for the Latinos that voted for Donald Trump, Latinos for Donald Trump. But now they regret that vote, man, because they realize that the oppressor cannot be changed, man. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor will always be the devil the Bible speak of, man. So like it.
Right. And even, you know what's crazy is that I had a clip of this devil complaining about being profiled. Not profiled. What's it again? What's the other word? Not being profiled. I forgot, but it treated him differently in India. Right? They see he's not Indian, and they say, yo, you know what? No Wi-Fi for you. You pay a higher price for the taxi, whatever the case. He was complaining, like, yo, this is racism. How can it be so racist? the audacity of our oppressor complaining about racism, you know, or how they're being treated in different countries that are not Caucasian countries is, damn, the caucasity, Salakia. Like, how are you going to complain and this is how you treat people on the land that you stole? You know? You go, just like you said, you know, you can't even go in vacation to a land that they claimed as theirs. You go to vacation in Italy. I had this cat I went to high school with. His family got married, and someone in his family got married in Italy. The moment they step out of the hotel, they found a drawing of someone that was hung, and it says "negri," which means black or nigger in Italian. You know, don't think racism doesn't exist, and don't think, yeah, well, you know, it's 2025. People are not going to risk it. You go to Russia right now, right? I had this cat in the world. He told me he had a black friend in Russia. This man had to run for his life every single day just going to school. You go to Poland. Poland they'll chase you down in Poland because you're not white. You know, it's not uncommon. They despise you. They despise everybody. It's not uncommon. But how they have the audacity to complain that they can't go on vacation or they face racism, they go to the French Caribbean islands and some of them say, well, over there, people don't really like white people. How you figure that? After 400 years of slavery and then poisoning us, you know, making sure like life is damn near the cost of living is like what, 5 times higher than in mainland France. We're supposed to just love white people. This is a question we should ask on the street, right? Why do you think white people should be loved? What is there to love about people?
Right.
I want to understand, if we should love white people, what is there to be loved about them? Why should we love white people? What is there to love about white people? You know, they don't wash. They don't use what? A washcloth. They let the water drip down their legs. They smell like wet shit. Ruby, when my dog Ruby is coming out of the rain and she has that wet dog smell, white people smell worse than that. And that's a bad smell.
Like surfer.
Listen, they smell like sour. Good night. You know, they listen. We just showed you the first clip we played. They have a vacation camp, a 3-day camping for pedophiles. What is there to love about white people? They commit genocide. They play the victim. They're a sore winner, like Commander General YAHANNA said. Why? Because they have everything and they still complain. It's never they have everything. Everything is not enough. Go figure. What else do you want? Listen, send them. They're about to SpaceX want to send people in Mars. Listen, let them find a outer space form of life. They're committing genocide in space.
Gone.
Yeah, they committed genocide in space. I guarantee you that. The moment they land, listen, they say they're landing on the moon. Most in Christ, they didn't find no form of life on the moon because they would have committed a genocide and would say, well, we discovered the moon. You know, that's the crazy part. Listen, they have the audacity to complain about and protest about what do you call it again? Climate change, animals going extinct, the water's being dirty, pollution. They're literally, as the name of the podcast, they're the ground zero for all the problems on the face of the earth. They pollute the waterways. They made crustaceans a delicacy. Now we don't have water filters. You understand? They poison the waterways in the native, and they complain, well, the waterways is poison, and they dig in pipelines left and right and complain about pollution. You know, that's the problem. They're the problem. What is there to love about a people that commits a genocide that, you know, pollutes the whole planet Earth, corrupt the mind of your children? The Chinese say they can't watch American shows where there's effeminate men. The Chinese ban effeminate men from TV. They don't want their kids to grow up as faggots. Salakia. They don't want their kids to grow up as effeminate. You know, that's what the Chinese said. Good night. What's his name? The Hamite kicking out the white people over in Africa. I.S.U.P.K. He banned same-sex marriages in Burkina Faso. He banned it. You know, white people started complaining because Biden said Uganda cannot ban same-sex marriage. Like, how do you have the caucasity to tell a people what they can and can't do on their land? It's their land. Let the Africans eat bushmeat if they want. You can't complain about that. It's their problem. Let Africans deal with African problem. Let the Chinese deal with the Chinese problem. You understand? Let blacks, Latinos, and Native American deal with black, Latino, and Native American Indian problem. And then we'll fix all our issues. We don't need no intervention from nobody. We'll address our issues and leave us alone. At the end of the day, you're the problem. That's really it. You're the common denominator for every fucked up thing that's going on around across the globe right now. And you have the audacity to say, well, you can't even take a vacation in the US. If you do, and your name sounds, you know. And here's another thing, right? I want to know, this is what I want to know. Out of all the so-called Latinos they're arresting and deporting, I want to know how many of them, how many Spaniards they done dirty. Yeah? They're deporting all the brothers and sisters. I want to know how many actual Spaniards they are trying to deport to Mexico. How many of them? That's a question we should ask. Right? Because even though some of them might be named Perez or whatever Spanish last name they have, those are Spaniards' last name. So how many of them, how many Spaniards they're deporting? Listen, we know they're deporting Raza. We know they're deporting our brothers and sisters. But how many Spaniards are they mistreating? That's what we should ask. That's a good question to ask. Right?
So like if I may interject also, priest.
Okay.
If you ask any sincere Caucasian, if you were black, Hispanic, and Native Indian after everything that happened with the slavery and captivity and the oppression, would you love white people? Every sincere Caucasian will say no. Every one of them. You understand? So, you know what I'm saying? Like when the Christian tell us, you know what I'm saying, like to love them, you know what I'm saying, to forgive them themselves would have never loved themselves if they were us. They would have never loved another white person, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, follow the culture or whatnot if they were us because of the trauma, of the oppression, of the pain, of the injustice that was done to, you know what I'm saying, to so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. So like,
damn right. Shit, white people hate white people. That's why, listen, white people hate white people already. So what is there to love about people that just naturally hate themselves? The French hate the British, and vice versa. Spaniards hate the Portuguese. The Russians hate the Ukrainians. You know, the Dutch and listen, white people hate white people. So why would we love the people that, you know, can't even love themselves? Not like us, for instance, we don't love ourselves because we've been indoctrinated to do so. We're the most compassionate people on the face of the earth. We have the most hospitality. But these people just hate themselves. You understand? And like everything correlates to the nature of our oppressor today. That's crazy. Look at this. Conor McGregor allegedly donated a bus to transport anti-immigration protesters to a rally. Hey, that's some of the people's favorite fighter. Who knew that a Irish prick was a racist? Shit. That's old news. It's a lot.
What's in the bin? Did you get that on the line? Yeah, fucking idiot. Get out, you black.
He's saying, get out, you black cunts. Listen, next time, hey, if you really had a sense of morality, you just had common sense. You see any Conor McGregor fight, just turn the TV off. Don't go watch the fight. Yes, the Conor McGregor is Irish. Irish are extremely racist. It's a lot, young one. You know what people say?
So yeah, I was about to say that. They are saying the redhead are the new black.
Yeah, the redheads is the new black. Listen, Conor McGregor, y'all may not even feel offended because y'all say redheads are black, gingers are black. Yeah, that ginger potato eater, right? He donated a bus to transport anti-immigration protesters to a rally. He donated a bus to the racist. And that's what he did. The gingers are black. Here's your brother. And for every single dumb coon that says, well, Irish are our brothers because they were also enslaved. Irish were never slaves. The Irish were indentured, potato-eating servants. That's it. They were oppressed. Why were they oppressed? Because they're the white trash of Europe. That's it. It's like saying, well, the people in the South were also oppressed by the people in the North, so they're our brothers. Why were they oppressed? Why? Because they're rednecks and they sleep with their brothers and sisters in Alabama. They have, that's what they're oppressed for. The devil is a devil nonetheless. They were never oppressed like we were. They're eating potatoes. No sweat. We eating scraps. If they eating potatoes, best believe that we were eating the potato peels. If they ever left it, if they left it behind for us to eat.
So like, who was picking those potatoes?
Good night. Hey, there you go. Listen, the original Irish people were not even them. You understand?
Right.
And even then, we had a lot of Irish slave overseers. That's your Irish slave overseer right here. Look at his smile. This Carter is happy of donating a bus to his fellow racist Irish people. He's happy. You see, the same way we say the white man is the devil and it makes my teeth whiter, donating a bus to a group of racists is like he's not feeling the pain of that leg that he broke in the ring. He's not feeling that pain no more. That's good night. These are the same people in 2025 who you think you should love. Your love is not going to save them from their racism. Racism is not going nowhere. Salak Yadawan.
Come on, you got it, priest. Everything you say is on point.
Okay, let me bring up the next clip.
What's an end knot? That's in the That's in the police report. The officer said suspect 1 stated that victim 1 had end knocked on her door.
And they knocked on their door trying to.
No, I'm asking.
Constantly.
No. What is an end knock?
Nigger knocking.
Yeah, what is that?
Damn.
Going and knocking on a door and running.
But why is it nigger knocking?
That's what.
Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't no? Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't Asian knocking? Why isn't some other knocking? Why is it called that?
No, that's just the way they say it.
No, that's the way you explain to me. What's an end knot?
Listen, that's the first time I heard it in my life. Nigger knocking. It said that's the way they say it. Who's they?
The racists.
Who's they? I'm confused. Listen, good night. Apparently, we used to nigger knock when we were kids. She said that's the way they say it. Who's they? Maybe she identifies they them. That's probably it. It's lock it. Listen, this is insane for you to think that white people could ever change. You understand? Professor. God.
No, go ahead, please.
Go ahead, Ottawa.
God, Salakia. I was gonna say, and also like, you know what I'm saying, like for those that think, you know what I'm saying, like, well, you know what, it's a new day. We're into 2025. It was a long time ago. The I.S.U.P.K been warning you and telling you during these last days, you about to see the full face of white people. The full racism is gonna come out of them. And you seeing this right now. You know what I'm saying? You thought, you know what I'm saying, we was crazy, you know what I'm saying, for saying like, you know, They are exactly like their forefathers. You thought, you know what I'm saying, we were insane for telling you that. Now you seeing is exactly what, you know what I'm saying, our words, you know what I'm saying, the words are coming in YAHANNA and every priest and prophet in the UPK. You know what I'm saying, you seeing exactly those words coming to life, because you understand these people, you understand, are as racist as their forefathers. They never loved you. They never act, you know what I'm saying, cared about you. Yes, of course, you understand, because you sing and dance and you understand, and whatnot. They tolerated you. They wanted to be like you. They wanted to dance and sing, you understand, just the same way you do. But that doesn't mean that they don't hate you, man. You understand? That doesn't mean that they don't see you exactly like their forefathers saw you back in the days, man. They are their forefathers, man. And you got to wake up, you know what I'm saying? And you about to come in the, you know what I'm saying, in a new world where a new vision of how the world is, because you're about to see exactly every so-called Edomite is as racist as Christopher Columbus.
Damn right. That's really it. And again, if you knew that the Bible is not a white man's book, that this is your record and your code of conduct, right? You will know this, Salakia. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Listen, iron is bound to rust over time. It will show you, this idea of oppressor will show you its true colors. It's just a matter of seconds. It doesn't matter if you grew up with them. Listen, you grew up with white people. They're going to tell you, well, it's not my fault. I'm not my forefather. It's, you know, what can I do about it? There's a lot you can do about it. First of all, you could donate to I.S.U.P.K.com. You could bow down, kiss our boots. You understand? If you're truly sorry, show me you're truly sorry. You know, it's like saying, well, someone steals your car, right? And donates it to me. And I'm like, well, it's not my fault. You got your car stolen. I just happened to inherit it. It's not my problem. You know, forget about it. It's not yours no more. You understand? Your enemy will also always show their true colors. Our enemy will never change. Our oppressors will never change. You know, and it's crazy that it takes someone like Donald Trump to say, well, you know what? I'm an openly racist president. Donald Trump's openly. Even then, y'all still don't believe that, you know, they're truly racist. You think it's just him. How stupid can you be? Our people are really dumb in the sense where the Palestinians recognize their enemies. Kim Jong-un, he can recognize his enemies. Yeah, white people can recognize their enemies, but you can't. You really are stupid.
So
like
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I blame the Christian preachers for that, man. I blame Christianity for that, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, they're the one that lied to our people that God loves everybody and we should love everybody and anything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, basically, the preacher is telling you, you should love those pedophiles in the wood as well. You know what I'm saying? So, I blame the Christian preacher for that. So, like,
the preacher is probably camping with them. You know? It's like, let me keep reading, right? And that's why they say black people are stupid, not because we're unintelligent, because you can't recognize your enemy. Verse 11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Listen, that white man is saying, yeah, I'm going to fight alongside you, whatever the case is, where we're going to overcome together. Listen, they say what? The Irish were slaves. They're our brothers. The Irish will tell you, well, we were slaves as well. You know, we have the same oppression. He's humbling himself to make it seem like he's stooping down to your level, to make it seem like y'all been through the same thing. Beware of him. Now you're seeing that those same Irish, right? Conor McGregor donated a bus for these racist Irish people that claim to be your brothers because y'all were both enslaved. Because y'all were both oppressed together. Y'all were not. Beware of him. Now, would you beware of Conor McGregor? Listen, the hell with Conor McGregor. I don't know if y'all remember Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, when he grew up, he said it himself. He had a gang in Boston. He had a gang of white boys just patrolling Boston and beating black people up. That's Mark Wahlberg. That's your favorite actor. Y'all forgot about that, right? What's his name again? What's the actor name again? Damn, I forgot. He made like a movie. Well, obviously he made a movie. Shit. But he said something about, I think one of his friends got assaulted. She got robbed, I think by a brother or something like that. He said he wished he would kill all niggas or some stupid shit like that. Listen, your favorite actor is extremely racist. Hulk Hogan is extremely racist. Conor McGregor is extremely racist. Mark Wahlberg is extremely racist. They're all racist. Why? Because they don't openly say like Donald Trump until a tape comes out of Eminem saying the word nigga. You know, beware of him. Though he humble himself, even if you make it seem like he's coming down to your level, you know, treating you as what you consider to be an equal, they hate your guts. And it's never going to change. Salakia. And those shall be unto him, Salakia, and thou shalt be unto him, as if thou hast wipest a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Why? Because you trying to clean up white people's racism from them, it's like wiping a mirror. When you wipe a mirror, I don't know if anybody ever wiped the mirror, try to clean the mirror, there's always going to be a stain. And that stain is the racism that is not going away. You understand? That stain that's on that mirror is the racism that is not going away from it. It's their nature to despise you. Listen, white privilege is not, they cannot reject white privilege. They cannot reject white privilege. The whole, you know, even if they're broke white people, they have white privilege. The proof is they can't clean themselves up and go look for a job. You know, a white crackhead can have a job. A black crackhead can't have a job. You understand? Forget about having a job and being a crackhead. You know, you are a felon. You have one felony. You can't have a job. Trump have what? 54 felonies. This nigga became president again. And yes, I call Trump a nigga because y'all consider Trump a nigga. This man have felonies. He came out with like gold Jordans. He was walking to 50 Cent, Many Men. This nigga fucking 50 Cent, Many Men. And he got shot twice. He must be a nigga. Right? The Ecclesiasticus 12:10 told you to never trust him. Y'all still voted for Trump. So like, let me just get the next verse real quick. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou hast at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. See, that's the problem. You wait for the damage to be done to realize, well, damn, maybe I should have never trusted them. You wait for them to overthrow you and be like, damn, maybe we should have never invited them to the cookout. Now, by the way, we're in the cookout season. Next cookout is in Fayetteville, North Carolina. No heathens allowed. Not whites, not Caucasian, not Russian, not Africans, no Asians, no Arabs, no heathens allowed. We don't trust our enemies because we know they show their true colors. Before the cookout, during the cookout, after the cookout, no heathens allowed at all, at any time, any cookout. You understand? We don't wait for the damage to be done. We prevent the damage. How? By separating. We don't set them up right by us so they could overthrow us and stand up in our place. We don't do that. We did that enough times during what's it called? The Civil Rights March. And when it says at last, remember my words and be pricked therewith, you know, it's like when you're told to be careful when you pick up, you know, let's say you're told not to touch a bee because you're gonna get stung, right? Well, don't set this heathen right by you because now that bee sting is like a reminder, well, you know what? Maybe I should have not picked up that bee. That damage that they do, you're gonna be pricked with the words of the Most High that was telling you in your head, you should have never trusted your enemy. It's gonna be a reminder. A prick is like a thorn. Imagine being, for example, you see when you see the saying pinch me just to see if you're dreaming or not. You're gonna feel that pinch like, damn, this is a reminder of me not being in a dream. Well, this pinch is a reminder of you not having to trust you, not to that you should have never trusted your enemy. Why? Because now he's deporting your ass. Then now you're being deported as a tourist. That's crazy. You understand? You're labeled a criminal, but he runs the whole drug game. Let me get verse 13 real quick, and then we can switch to the next clip. Ecclesiasticus 12:13 says, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast?" You see how you say white people are stupid because they swim with sharks and get bitten? They go on a safari and they get killed by lions and things. The snake charmer, the East Indian, gets bitten by a cobra and dies because why would you play with a cobra? You're dumb as hell. Well, you're as dumb as he is trusting your enemy. You call white people stupid doing white people shit, jumping from buildings and parachuting, whatever the case is, and then damn, you're stupid. Now you're dead. Well, guess what? You're stupid because you're dead after trusting these people.
Right.
This is that simple. You're stupid because now the white woman, a couple months ago, came saying, why did we even march for civil rights? What, to share the same toilet? To drink from the same fountain? That's it? That's dumb as hell. Well, you're dumb as hell for wanting to sit in the same toilet as the people who don't even wash themselves. You're dumb as hell for wanting to sit on the toilet of the same people who use that same toilet bowl to make pasta. Oh, you didn't know that white people use toilet bowls to make pasta? You understand? This is what you wanted. And now you can't complain. You can't complain about drugs in the neighborhood. You wanted to be with the people who put the drugs in the neighborhood.
Right.
You want to complain about police killings. You wanted to be with the people who are policing you and who are wearing a badge killing you. You can't complain because that's what you asked for. They say, be careful what you wish for. Well, you wish for integration. Now you got it. You can't complain. That's exactly what you asked for. You wanted to play with a snake. The snake bites you. Well, you asked for it. You wanted to go swim with sharks. Well, sharks are dangerous animals. They'll eat you up. You can't complain you lost a limb swimming with a shark because that's what you wanted to do. You understand? So now if you want to be with white people, something bad happens. For instance, I remember this Colombian sister. Listen, this Colombian sister, and that's crazy because it happened to a sister in the U.S. as well. They went on a date with the white man. They ended up in a body bag, chopped up in pieces. Made these sisters rise again. But this came with integration. If we were decided to be segregated and just stick to ourselves with our people, things like that would never happen. Of course, they're always going to try to kill us. But the thing is, what makes you think that moving closer to your killer will not make him want to kill you? It's easier to kill you now because you're right next to him. It's easier for a predator to kill its prey if the prey is not running away. It's running towards him. You understand? And this is exactly what you asked for. Salaki, let's get the next clip.
Friday, here when they were playing last week, and now the family says they don't even feel safe in their own front yard. 81-year-old Ada Anderson found herself in handcuffs last Friday, accused of pepper spraying her neighbors, April Barant, and her 3- and 6-year-old daughters, allegedly over something pretty small.
Bubbles, literally. The bubbles put her, I guess, in a whole nother arena of whatever going on with her mom.
Moran says her daughters were playing with bubbles in their yard, well away from the fence that separates their properties, when she alleges Anderson shouted racial slurs and leaned over the fence holding something.
What went through my head is I thought she had a gun. So I literally kind of jumped, like it startled me, because when she was to the fence, she was over the fence like this, and I didn't know what was in her hand because I'm looking at her really quick, and then she sprayed it.
According to the police report, they believe it was pepper spray.
My 6-year-old, she was like, her nose went to burning. She ran to the house and got a bottle of water.
Morant says she's had problems with Anderson since she moved with her family to the neighborhood in November, but
I feel like she's escalating.
She says Anderson on multiple occasions has hurled insults and racial slurs at them.
Since day one. I have recordings of her.
She shared this video where someone can be heard saying a racial slur. We tried getting in touch with Anderson to see what she had to say. We knocked on her door and we gave her a call, but got no answer from either. But she seemed to try and defend herself in body camera video from her arrest.
You really don't have any right doing this.
I understand, ma'am.
Wait till I get the pictures back. I can show you what they're doing.
According to jail records, Anderson has been released on bond, facing several counts of battery, second or subsequent offense. Morant thought there would be more.
Just battery, but no thing on the kids, or maybe a hate crime, because you said all this stuff while you were spraying and stuff.
Morant says she's worried it won't stop there.
For you to do the bear spray stuff, I feel like I don't know what you have in that house. I don't know. I don't want to be by her.
Covering Marion County in Ocala last Friday. Here when they were playing last.
Good night. Listen, it can't get clearer than that. It can't. Your oppressor despises you. Why don't you understand? So 1 second, my computer freezing.
Hey, let's give us, a couple minutes. Officer Barkiala will be back. Understand? You're having technical difficulties. And that being said, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to I.S.U.P.K Montreal, I.S.U.P.K Toronto, I.S.U.P.K Haiti, I.S.U.P.K France, and I.S.U.P.K Martinique. You understand? You want the truth. This is where the truth resides. You understand? I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. That's where the truth is at. You understand?
Nah, Salaki for technical difficulties. Damn, this white woman pepper sprayed a 8-year-old? That's crazy. But again, this comes with integration. This comes with wanting to love white people. Right? She yelled at a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. She yells. She probably said, "You dirty nigga," whatever the hell she said, for blowing bubbles. Right? What's that precept again? It's damn like the precept, they hunt our steps so we cannot go in our streets. Well, guess what? You can't even blow bubbles. Let it go in the streets is nothing. At this point, kids cannot even be kids.
Right.
They blow you blow bubbles, now you run the risk of getting pepper sprayed. Right? I don't know if for people who haven't been pepper sprayed, it's not a pleasant feeling at all. And I think she said she had bear mace. It's not even the regular pepper spray. She maced the kids with bear mace. Damn. But what can I do? God loves everybody, right? God loves everybody, and shit. You have to forgive white people. Salaki,
Come. And you know what I'm saying? Like this comes to show you exactly, you know what I'm saying, the topic of this, you know what I'm saying, this class and everything that you've been bringing out. You know what I'm saying? Like the oppressor is just the oppressor, it will not change. You understand? Like, and don't say, well, she's 81 years old. She used to live in a different era. You know what I'm saying? Your so-called oppressor, Edomites that are 20 years old, have the same mentality. It's just because, you understand, like Eminem, you understand, is singing hip hop now. They could go to the club, dance and drink, you understand, and whatnot with a black so-called black friend. But this is the same spirit that's in every one of them. You know what I'm saying? Every so-called oppressor have that same spirit. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time until that spirit come forth. You know what I'm saying? But they have the same mentality, the same spirit. They are the same Edomite of the old, of the past. They are exactly like Christopher Columbus and every other racist oppressor that oppress our people, man.
Damn right. And they will never change. As a matter of fact, they just make it worse for us. You cannot even be a kid and blow bubbles. It's like you go outside now, your kid is blowing bubbles. You can't even, okay, you see how, you're not worried, yeah, my kid is playing in the park or is blowing bubbles, whatever the case, let the kids be kids. You have to worry about your kids being bear maced at this point when blowing bubbles outside. That's what you have to worry about. If you're Black, Latino, Native American, Indian, you thought the only thing you had to worry about is someone, your kids get kidnapped or, something really bad happens. Your kid can't blow bubbles no more. You have to worry about your kids being maced if they blow bubbles. That's crazy. You understand? And no voting, marching, protest is gonna change that. You can't change white people. Stop trying to pray over white people, change white people, trying to fucking save white people. There's nothing that's gonna be good coming from that. This is what happened when you try to save white people. Your kids get maced in the face for blowing bubbles. This is what happened when you're trying to walk hand in hand with white people. Listen, what is it? Proverbs 21:11. Though hand in hand joined together, the wicked shall not be unpunished. Listen, Lord allow I have some holy mace in the kingdom. I'll mace this bitch, even if she's 95 years old. I don't give a damn. She deserves to be maced on the plantation. Why? Just for the sake of it. That's it. You understand? You pick some sugar cane. Yeah, because I'm gonna have her pick some sugar cane. You cut the sugar cane the wrong way, you get maced. Yeah. It's a lot, guy. I'm that's what I'm gonna do. You make some pepper spray with some cayenne pepper, just a bit of vinegar, some lime juice. I don't know. Listen, you're gonna find some engineer in the kingdom that's gonna design the new mace. I'm gonna mace the hell out of these white women. Yeah, that's what it is. That's a lie. I'm not a merciful person. Listen, white people, they piss me off. Now, we're not calling for any acts of violence, really. You understand? The point is, she will reap what she sowed in the kingdom. It's not going to be pleasant. And just like the priestess said, whoever put in captivity shall go in captivity. I'm just paraphrasing, right? We won't give them the same treatment they gave us, because we have laws and we have a code of conduct of morality. You understand? But you better cut the sugar cane the right way, because I'm gonna mace the hell out of you. You goddamn white dog. You got what? One more clip? 2 more clips?
So like a priest, I sent you a little short things on Messenger, all right?
On Messenger? Let me see. Yeah, mace the hell out of the white woman. That's a clip too. Mace the hell out of that white devil. Let's see if I could pull it. Salakia, 1 second. Bear with us 1 moment. Good night.
There's a Christ was right when he called, you know what I'm saying, that white woman a dog, man. Because, you know what I'm saying, they showing that
Good night.
they are dogs. Salakia.
Good night. Listen. Damn. Listen, what does it say in Isaiah 14? These are the people. Listen, this is the people that is running the earth. This is the people that make kingdom shakes and tremble.
God.
Yeah. Now I understand why they kiss their dogs in the mouth. I absolutely understand.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget, Christ called that, you know what I'm saying, that white woman a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? So Christ was right. You know what I'm saying? Christ's never wrong. So, you know what I'm saying?
Christ's never wrong. Call the white woman a bitch.
Dogs.
Yeah, damn. You can't make this up. And this is the same people you want to join. Listen, you want to be good night. How? I don't know. Damn. Like, what is there to love about white people? It's like, what is there to emulate about white people? Like, why would you want to be white?
Good night.
Damn. And then they dare call us animals?
Right. Right.
What is he gonna do next? Lift his leg and take a piss?
Good.
Good fucking night.
And so like somebody said, you know what I'm saying, Diddy parties, you know what I'm saying, has nothing to do with white people, man. You know what I'm saying? This is worse. And you know that they're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, in the indoors doing even worse with, you know what I'm saying, that damn Edomite with, you know what I'm saying, with that dog head costume and everything. You know what I'm saying, they're gonna be wilding, you know what I'm saying, wilding out, you know what I'm saying, like in private.
Yeah, white people should not own pets. If you know any white person with a pet, call the SPCA. Call it SPCA, the police, the FBI. Listen, it's a good night. We think we have it bad. I pray for the pets. I pray for you. Don't even know what's going on. What's going on in the back of these pet stores at this point? It's like, damn, the pets always have a sad face. I understand why.
Right.
I pray you understand. You can't make this up. Good night. Listen. And here's the crazy part. There's the one that's wearing a dog mask. The other one is wearing a skirt.
Right.
I realize this man is wearing a skirt. Damn.
That's Edomite for you, man. And to go back to what we said, you know what I'm saying, yesterday in class in Hebrew 12, right? You know what I'm saying? There's nobody more filthy and disgusting than the oppressor, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody more that there's no more sexual deviance. I thought back in the days, I thought Africans were sexual deviants. Edomites is even worse than Africans, man.
Yeah, if you thought like the heathens, you know, okay. Do you see the first clip we played, right? With these pedophiles going camping. The Afghani people have the Bacha boys, but the Bacha boys ain't got none of the white people. Listen, it doesn't matter how deviant these heathens are. White people are the pinnacle of deviancy.
God.
You understand? Now you think the Saudis and the people in Dubai are doing crazy stuff to our sisters by shitting in their mouth and giving them 10 bands? Shit, imagine white people. Imagine what's going on Epstein Island. Imagine Hugh Hefner. Good night. Just Hollywood. Good night. Just your average white dude. Your average white person. You understand? Your average. Good night. Damn.
Good. This shit is wild, man. You know what I'm saying? The oppressor must be stopped on the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? If the oppressor is not stopped, if Christ don't come back and we establish, you understand, like righteousness on the earth, you know what I'm saying? If we don't step up as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian men and, you know what I'm saying, like, and overtake this earth in all total righteousness, the oppressor in, like, you know what I'm saying, like, so like, if the oppressor would have like another 50 years, you about to see this thing in every school. You about to see this in every school. They're gonna have your kids, you understand, dressed as animals, you understand, rolling over, humping on people's leg and everything. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we got to step up as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. Think about the future, man. Think about, and you see all the other people, you know what I'm saying, all the other Edomites sitting down like it's a show. Yeah. Clapping and being happy, you understand, being merry, you understand? So You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we got to
Yo.
step up, you know what I'm saying, that so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, because your kids might be, you know what I'm saying, like, this might happen to your kids in school, man. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, they're going to be in the woods, you know what I'm saying, with a pedophile, with an oppressor, Edomite pedophiles, you know what I'm saying, being molested on, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, going through so many traumas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is wild, you know what I'm saying? The oppressor, you know what I'm saying, at his time, and I pray to God, you know what I'm saying, Barakata Yahweh Yahushai, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, they put a hand on this oppressor rulership, because this is too much wickedness. You know what I'm saying? When the Bible talk about, you know what I'm saying, all the foul birds and spirit, you know what I'm saying, on the land, that's what it's talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about all the deviancies, you know what I'm saying, also of the so-called Edomite, the oppressor, the devil the Bible speak of, man. So like it.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but there's a brother in the video. Yo.
God, yeah, you know, Edom is always gonna have a house slave. Huh? You know
They got their house nigga in the video. I was like, damn, yo, that is crazy. Yo, out of all people, there's a nigga in the video. Yo, listen. The white man must be stopped. With that, I'm gonna, we're running short on time. I'm gonna start a new series. I'm gonna start a TikTok series. You see how we're bringing the short history tapes, right? I'm gonna bring this to the table. The white man must be stopped, and here's why. You see this shit? Good night. Your kids are not safe around white people.
Good.
The adults are not safe around white people. Good night. The trees are not safe around white people. A white woman married a tree.
They're getting the tree, sleeping with the tree. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she must be.
They had a report a couple years ago where they're having sex with, you know what I'm saying, with the leaves and the trees and everything.
Hey, listen. You see this? This is why they made Groot, because they fantasize about sleeping with a tree. This is the origins of the character Groot, because they wanted to sleep with a tree. The white woman married a tree. Now you have Groot.
God.
Good fucking night. You can't make this shit up. Like, how out of all, like, the way they made the character, he looks like a human tree. She wanted the wood. Now she got it. Lot.
So like we might. She wanted to be into the Jake church. It's a lot.
Good night. Hey, listen. We're running short on time, right? This was other episode. It's not a successful episode of One West Ground Zero podcast. You understand? Point zero in French, right? Hosted by Officer 1000 Adiyar, myself, Officer 500 Barak Yala, with the I.S.U.P.K undercommand and John YAHANNA. Tune in. We'll be here every Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Never forget that the white man is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. Shalom.
Right.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. The water. Ain't no better, dog, really. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear Kyla. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better. I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. It's a one West world. We the fucking livest. Break it down, we break ground. We don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog. Don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much. They ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter, I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick, they can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. Them niggas riding for you. Hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth, I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race, I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player, I stick to the game plan. He don't really fuck with you, that's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yep, said he in the field, but he really not. And I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Grip still heat, spit like a dragon off.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.